you have a process that you need to follow, approach all these different problems. It changes your experience and it also changes your success. When you have a culture like that, it's easy to attract the best people. There are people that just need the right environment to flourish. Success for us is probably akin to an overnight success band. You're very good at one thing, but you might not be in another thing that is a recipe of success.
Good afternoon. Welcome back. Kent Bain with 9 Business Group and Elevate Your Business Spotlight interview. We have Dragan joining us today. Dragan, please introduce yourself, your last name as well, and more importantly, your company name, what you guys do and what sets you apart from the competition.
Hi, Kent. Thank you for interviewing me. My name is Dragan Marjanovic, and I own several companies. Media Shaker, which is a service company, Shout CMS, which is a platform for small businesses. But today we're going to be talking about Steps project management, which is something that we've built over the last 5 years, and we're taking it to market right now.
So what does Steps do as far as a project management software, and what does it mean to take it to market? Who are you going to sell it to?
So when we looked at, we're a small business, and all of our customers are businesses. And so something that we've noticed is that pretty much everybody is struggling with project management to some degree. So when we looked at this problem 4 or 5 years ago, we kind of went down to the drawing board and we looked at what are some of the challenges that everyone is having. And we came up with a set of principles that we wanted to follow that really changed the trajectory of what we built. And so Steps is the tool that we use. And one of the first innovations for Steps is what we did is when we looked at other systems out there, and we're a bit of connoisseurs of project management systems, so we looked at all of them. What we found was there was a missing component in most of them, and that was the instructions were not built into the process. So there's a lot of really great tools that manage project management, tasks, time, etc. But what they all or most of them didn't do very well is they didn't embed the instructions into the process. And so what that means is that whatever tool that you're using, it's not guiding you through the process. So one of the first things that we did is we said, well, what would it look like if we created something that was really simple for people to follow? So step 1, step 2, step 3, and so on. And then what we did is we said, well, let's embed everything that a person needs to know into that step. So instructions, documents, resources, videos, whatever you need in order to accomplish that step is built into it so that you don't have to, as you're doing something, you don't have to go into a repository or a Google Doc or somewhere. It's right where it is. And so what we did is we built a really great interface that makes it easy for people to follow. Then what happened is we said, well, wouldn't it be really cool that if you took that step-by-step process and then you published it to something like an app store, so that if the new entrepreneurs of the world are opening up their business, they could go into an app store, we call it the library, and download all of these curated processes from thought leaders across the world about the very best way to do something. So, if you're opening up a business, you need HR workflows, accounting workflows, and then, your specific industry workflows. So if you're a marketing company, here's how you create a brand. If you're a web design company, here's how you build a website. If you're a plumbing company, here's the process to do all of this. And then, when we did that, we kind of noticed that we're on to our spidey senses. We have something that's a little bit unique.
So does it apply to all industries? And on the surface, though, my knee-jerk reaction is, sounds complicated if it's a one-size-fits-all sort of thing. And how do you differentiate? How do you know what is quote unquote best practices for marketing?
Well, that's a very good point. We don't. And so our business model is going out to the consultants, the specialists in every industry, and saying, create the processes the same way that you would create an app for an Android or an Apple phone, is to create your processes and publish it to the library the same way that you would any other app. And we wanted to monetize it, make it lucrative for them. So if you have a great process for developing property or hiring, firing, we want you to process it, publish it, and sell it. And we think that for the consulting community, it'll add them another avenue to attract, new businesses in a new market, all in every industry. So whether you're in the biomedical, IT, traditional construction, brick and mortar stuff, everyone needs a process. And there's an expert in every one of those processes for every geographic location.
Is there one industry that you really had in mind when you developed steps to take it to? Was it specifically for anybody in project management per se? Or is there a certain niche that you went after with it?
Well, here's what's interesting is when you go back to first principles, when you take a look at how do we solve this human communication problem? And when we boiled it down to some very basic steps, and then when you build on those steps that are carefully thought through, everything above that seems to work, and it seems to work for every industry. So whether you're, let's say that you're a pharmaceutical company and then you're trying to release a product, you have a process that you need to follow. If you're a construction company, there is a process that you need to follow. And this is kind of going back to my early days of business. My mentors told me a couple of things. They said, Dragan, you need a process. You need to systemize your business. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to scale. And, I said, great. What are you going to give me? And usually the answers to that are some education, which is great. Everyone should get that. But then it's kind of quiet. Is it a spreadsheet? Is it a binder? Is it a document? And then, how do I pass that information down to my staff and everybody else? So I remember starting, it takes, for most businesses, it takes 5 years to figure out how to be good at your job. And then it takes another few years to be good at managing people and bookkeeping, accounting, and marketing, and etc. And so what we think is that if you're able to download a process into your daily workflow, and it has the very best thinking, how to approach all these different problems, it changes your experience, and it also changes your success. So you're not having to relearn every single time in every industry for everyone.
So as you look back over years as an entrepreneur, building a couple different companies, what is the number one thing you've learned about people and people management? Because project management is, in a way, people management, but there's so many nuances in the middle. So what is your biggest takeaway looking back over the years to kind of go, here's what I've learned about people and here's how I do it now?
Oh man, that's a tough one. Well, I've been pretty fortunate in my career where I think I was built right to begin with. And so I operate from a place of kindness. I'm naturally a team player. And so everything that we've done in the team that we've built, we've tried to be inclusive and work towards a mission more than just, providing a job for people. And so we want to accomplish something more than a bigger salary or a bigger check. We want to create something that we can be proud of. The money is great, but we want to create something that's proud of. Now, when you have a culture like that, it's easy to attract the best people. It's easy to attract the right motivations, and when you have that, you have less problems. You just have less problems, and so you have a team that cares about what you do. Everyone's working towards a goal. And then the common things that you hear in the business world. So hire slow, fire fast. An A player does not want to work with a B player.
Is that true?
That is true. So, sorry, I hope I'm saying that right. All right. Yeah. So
B players don't want A players don't want to play with B players.
Yes.
I understand. So I want to I'm working with a client right now, and he seems to be stuck on this. So I'm going to paraphrase the question, and I'm going to cut this out and send it to him. How many times has it happened more than once? Has it happened to you where you've had a B player, you've had a person on the team who doesn't get it, doesn't fit in, and is literally ruffling the feathers of other team members? Have you had that happen to you? And then what did you do about it? And what was the cost? What was the impact?
Well, the impact is significant because one person, and we've had this, a team of 15, one person wrecks the experience for the 14 others. And so I think that you want to do your best job to realign, but if it doesn't work, don't waste your time, because in a lot of cases it's better for both parties. It's better for that person to find another fit, and it's good for the company to remove the one person that doesn't fit. But a lot of these issues stem from a lack of processes and communication within the company. So if I were to look back and if we were more organized, if we communicated better, maybe 2 out of those 5 instances would not have needed to, could have gone a different way. And so I think that there are 2 parts to that. One is a company needs to have a process and a strategy for that, because we can't all be A players. We're not all A players. So we need a strategy to accommodate the various degrees of people that we work with. And that's having a good system, a good process, and good communication. But when that doesn't work, you need to, take action quickly and find a home for the person that doesn't fit.
I'm going to ask one more fun question. You've touched on a little bit. Are A players hired or are they developed? Do we grow them? Do we nurture them? Or do we have to hire them? Which one comes first?
I don't know if it's 100% that they're grown or 100% that they're built. I think it's probably 70-30 built and 30% grown. So there are people that just need the right environment to flourish. And then some people are just motivated and wired in a way where they excel.
You've built and grown a couple different companies. I love this question. So talk to us about success and what has success meant to you over the years, and what was it in the beginning and what does it look like today?
Well, I don't know if we'd call ourselves successful. So we've been in business for 25 years, and some people say that's a success. For a big part of that time, we were building and investing in our own platforms. And so now we're at the end of that journey. And so success for us is probably akin to a band, an overnight success band, where you don't see the decade of practice and building. You see the tail, the end part. And so we're at that end part. So we're very proud of the things that we built. And now we are going to let the world know.
That's fabulous. But I'm not going to let you off that easy. Even though you're at the end part now of success and taking, quote unquote, the band to market, if that never would have happened, though, what is the single greatest thing you're proud of in these years of being an entrepreneur?
For both of our systems, and particularly the STEPS platform, what we've been able to do is be ahead of the curve on the thinking. And we've connected to the end user, I think, better than our competitors or the other people in the market. And so when we started building with the right ideas, and we asked the right questions. And I think that separated us from the other developers or the other funds and systems out there. And then, so that has guided us through, I think, to creating a better product. I think a fundamental problem that a lot of businesses have in our situation is just funding. And so a lot of companies end up, having a service. Companies like us end up having a service that pays for the development. And so in our case, we had a service building sites and marketing campaigns that funded the development of our own platforms. And that's really tough because, all your profits are going into something that may never realize. And so there's a little bit of risk in that. And I can see why a lot of people don't do it. And I can see why a lot of people fail.
Thank you for the insight. To wrap this up, a shameless self-plug. Who should find you? Who's the ideal client? And where should they find you? Is it the app they're downloading? So where to find you and who should find you?
You can find me and our platform at shouthq.com. And I think if you go to the contact page, you can email us, and that'll find its way to me.
And who should find you?
Our tool is designed for anybody who needs a process-led project management system. So if you want to organize all of the different things that you do in your company, and you need a way to manage your projects in a more efficient way, this is what we think is the very best tool in the world.
Ultimately, a successful business is having employees follow the system, not managing people who manage the system. And so whether it's project managers or something else, so we will definitely be talking next week, and I'm looking forward to learning more about how that works and how I can maybe use it to accelerate my clients' growth and helping their team succeed faster. So thank you very much. Have a great week.
Thank you.